Well, students, today we will take a new topic related with the business economics that is called the demand and supply analysis. So, demand and supply analysis economics is the relationship between the quantity of a commodity that producers wish to sell at various prices and the quantity that the consumers wish to buy. So, again, two things which are playing a vital role in the demand and supply theory, that is selling portion and another the wish of the consumer, that is he or she is willing to buy. In short, students, demand is an economic principle referring a desire or willingness to pay price for a specific goods and services. If I give you an example of ice cream, you can easily get a different dessert if the prices of ice cream increases, because if the prices are too higher, then also we have other options to take in place of the ice cream. Now, the two factors which are covering the demand and supply analysis, first of all, this economic principle explains the interaction between the seller of a resource and the buyers for that resource. Again, you can see that the resources are playing a vital role here also. So we have to keep an eye on both parties, the seller as well as the buyer. Second thing about this theory, it defines the availability of a particular good and the desire or demand for that product has on its price. So you can say that the prices also gives impact on the theory of demand and supply. Another point related with this demand and supply theory, that are some basic laws regarding this theory. First is, if demand increases and supply remains unchanged, then it leads to higher equilibrium price and quantity. Here demand is increasing, okay, and we are seeing no changes in our supply. Secondly, if demand declines or decreases and the supply remains unchanged, then it leads to lower equilibrium price and quantity. So higher and lower equilibrium always depends on the increase or decrease of the demand. So these two are the primary or basic laws regarding with the demand theory. The next point regarding this theory, if we differentiate types of demand, then basically there are four kinds of demands which we study in economics. First is called the individual and market demand. Second one is the organization and the industrial demand. Third, autonomous and derived demand. And the last one is demand for perishable and durable goods. So students, the industries always try to study the consumer behavior. It is actually an attempt to understand the current and future demand that rotate around the customers. As if government create massive jobs, then the people will have salaries that will then turn into the consumer demand. Generally, low supply and high demand increases the prices. So this theory is very useful for the industries, for the government and the other parties to actually guess the demand for the future and for the current demands. Now let us take the next demand, that is the short term and the long term demand. Again, short term and long term demand are basically related with our customers and the season and their choices. Now, are there any factors that affect supply and demand? Of course, there are certain factors which affect supply and demand. First is the price fluctuations, that plays again an important role. Second, income and credit of the customer also affect the supply and demand theory. Then availability of alternatives or competitors if there are competitors or alternatives in the market, the customers have various choices, and for sure they can choose another goods or services rather sticking to one. Then the trends, you can say the fashions, the trends plays again an important role for affecting supply and demand. Commercial advertising, as all we know that in this era of advertisement we are updated, we are aware of modern thinking things, of the changing activities surrounding us. So definitely it always shows the increase or decrease in our demand. And second, and the last one is the seasons. So season, of course, the seasons also shows its effect on supply and demand theory. Now if we give a particular formula for the demand, so you can say the demand function has the form y equals to mx plus b. Here how we will explain this y equals to mx plus b? Y is the price, m is the slope, x is the quantity sold, and b is the unit. Now let us talk about the elasticity. Again, through an example, I will make this concept also clear. When the price elasticity of demand is calculated as the percentage, so always remember that the elasticity is always in calculated in percentage, change in quantity divided by the percentage change in price. So the important factor of this elasticity is we have to take consideration about the changes in the quantity, and that is divided by the changes in the price. So quantity and price both are significant, as luxury goods have a higher elasticity of demand because they are sensitive to price goods, and essential goods such as food is generally inelastic because buyers still buy food if the price changes. So in short, luxurious demands are much elastic in their demand in comparison of essential goods, because we can't stop uh, purchasing the essential goods. So you can say, students, that the demand equation or function, the quantity demanded is a function of factors related. Basically there are 5 factors which always influence the quantity demanded, that is also called the QD. First is the price, basically. Second, the income of the customer. Third, price of related goods. Fourth, tastes and preferences. And fifth, any expectation of future supply prices, etc. As these factors changes, they keep changes, so it also always shows the effect on the quantity demanded analysis. Now the question comes in front of us, why this demand and supply theory is essential for us, and what are the uses of this theory. Actually, this demand theory and this supply theory is basically needed first for forecasting the sale, secondly to manipulate the demand, and third for appraising salesmen for their work, for appreciating their job. You can say examples of inelastic demands are such as petrol, cigarettes, salt, chocolates, as they have no close substitutes. So they are inelastic in demands. Now again, through this example or through this diagram, we will again try to understand the demand and supply theory. As you can see, this curve is showing the price and this horizontal curve is for the quantity. Here both are intersecting each other at this point, and this point is the equilibrium point of demand and supply curve. Equilibrium, actually, student, is a state, this equilibrium is a state of balance between market demanded and supply. In short, there is no excess demand or supply. This point is basically called the P point. P point is also known as the market clearing price. So as you can see, this curve which is intersecting at the point, the midpoint, is the equilibrium position, which is also called the balance position. The price P of a pizza slices. Let's take the example of pizza slices. If the price of pizza slices is determined by balance between production at each price, so we have to see the supply, we have to see the quantity actually, and the desire of those with price at each price, demand or quantity. The diagram shows a positive shift in demand. Okay, you can see the positive shift in demand. Basically, it is called the supply. Okay, demand. Now, shift in demand resulting in one positive result in prices and the quantity also. As the demand is as the prices are increasing of the pizza slices, and the demand is going down. You can see now downward sloping as the price plus and the quantity decreases due to the law of diminishing marginal utility, that is basically also fulfilling the condition of diminishing marginal utility. So if the price slices are going up, so quantity is basically going downward due to the law of diminishing marginal utility. So students, in at the end of this point, we come to know that this theory basically study the consumer behavior, their current and future demand, and the capacity to produce enough supply to meet the demand. And actually that point which is showing the balance point between the market demand and the supply. So there is no excess demand or supply. So it is an basic economic principle that is very much beneficial for the producers, for the suppliers, and even the economics also. Thanks.